Guys, just want to do a quick sort of mindset, or kind of a, you might say rant, but in a sort of positive way. But I want to do this video simply because of various things that have come up for me recently. Mostly, this is really centered around team building, and how to, really sort of make it in this industry, in inverted commas. How to build a team, how to generate leads. Yeah, it's all going to be in this video. But what I want to talk about is, when you join opportunities, when you get yourself out there, how you're actually promoting. How do you treat this industry? How much time and effort are you actually putting into this industry? It's all relevant to this video. And I hope by the end of this video, you're going to learn some kind of little tips and hints and gold nuggets, because it is really relevant. I've put in a huge number of people into different businesses. I've had a large number of people join me in different businesses. I've been an upline and a sponsor to a huge number of people, literally thousands, tens of thousands. If we talk about the different programs, such as, certainly the income opportunities, but also the traffic services, because they have an affiliate type program attached to them. So, I'm always sharing out good value, different platforms that simply provide value, or marketing systems. They all have a way where you can send out your coded link and you can get people onto those links. It's all relevant. How do you get people to join you into different businesses or platforms or programs? And I'm explaining that. So I do have a lot of experience about sort of being somebody's sponsor. All right. And it takes a lot of responsibility, guys. It really takes a huge amount of responsibility. There's a lot going on, huge amount of distraction for both the sponsor themselves and for the people who are looking around for a good opportunity to get started in. So, I get a lot of people as, they just simply ask questions like, how do I get people to join me? This, that, and the other. Now, really what I want to talk about in this video is, even me, I'm looking around for good sponsors to work with. I'm looking to join businesses as well. And I'm just like you, emotional about who I join. I tend to relate to certain people, and there are certain people that I simply won't relate to. I'm not going to go into details about that, but everybody is different, and everyone will sort of connect to so, And the thing that really irritates me in this industry is that people are making up the rules as they go along. They think that they are the rule makers. Who should you join? Who owns who is responsible for who. At the end of the day, guys, it's a big wide world out there, and nobody owns anyone. People have a right to join who they want to join. And there are so many variables you've got to consider, as to who you're going to join, who you should join, who you have a responsibility to join. And it's same for me, guys. I've recently joined some programs, and I am joining different programs because partly, I'm testing things out to see if anything, if they're good platforms, and I may end up not doing anything with that. But at the end of the day, if you go through the process, you get set up, you join, you take action. Then eventually, these are the steps you need to take anyway to see if a company is going to be long term. It's part of it's part of doing your due diligence, really. Getting set up, taking action, locking in, getting signed up, taking it to however far you want to take it in that particular platform or company. So yeah, I've recently joined some businesses. And this, by the way, this is not, what I'm going to say next is not directed to any specific person, but in general, I've had multiple different kinds of people who perhaps expected me to join them in a particular business. And I'm going to explain why, I've actually decided to join certain businesses, and who I decided to join, but I'm not going to be mentioning any names, So recently, yeah, I did join some businesses, and then all of a sudden, whenever I do join these businesses, I suddenly get people that said, "Oh, well, hold on a minute, I actually sent you the link first." Well, first of all, guys, there's actually no way that you could know that you were actually the first person that sent me the link, because I'm always communicating with people privately, and if we had a conversation in the past about a particular business, and I might have said, okay, I'm not really looking for a business right now. It's not the right timing for me. I'm a bit focused on my main income stream here, blah blah blah, whatever. It's, the guys, understand there's a huge amount of, there's a huge going on. There's so much going on. Okay, there's a lot of distraction. I can't always pay attention, and perhaps I didn't actually in detail check out what businesses you sent me. And there are other cases where I just simply didn't relate to the offer. I didn't relate to the way you told me about it. I've had cases where people have told me about businesses. In some cases, they were very sort of salesy. And if people are going to push me, I'm going to be, I'm not going to be interested. I resist that. I don't like salesy type people. So if you've pitched me on stuff before, quite sort of blatantly, using your sales pitches or whatever, and you've pushed me, there's no wonder why I didn't join you. Or alternatively, if you did actually pitch me at all, but you are very sure that I knew that you were in a business, and you knew that I knew that you were in that business, but I didn't join you, I joined someone else instead, then I'm sorry, because I probably didn't check out that business anyway in detail, so I didn't really know what it was. So then again, I didn't. It didn't hit me. The other thing is sometimes, and I know a lot of leaders actually preach this, and to be honest, I disagree in many ways, because a lot of people will say to their team, "Don't mention the company name." They think it's actually better, especially for newbies, to not actually mention the company name, and I understand their reasoning for this. The reason for this is simply because they know that people do shop around for sponsors. So if you do mention the company name and it looks exciting, yeah, okay, so they might not join you. Instead, they might go and shop around and join someone else. Well, my answer to that is up your game, perhaps. Be a person of value. That's what it all boils down to. And also be a person of, be a person who can be relatable. You're always going to find enough people. Maybe I've sponsored so many people, but to be honest, I see, like take Minerva, for example. I've personally sponsored, almost 500 people. I mean, 400 and whatever it is, but almost 500 people personally sponsored through my own personal link. Not all of them are active. Out of those, the active ones, we're talking, I don't know, 130 or something like that. I've got active, but that's all about building leads. I'm just the marketing type. I'm not a networking type. I don't go into someone's inboxes and go, from one person explain about the business to the next person explain about the business. I'm just sort of a mass marketer, and I get my link out there to a lot of platforms where a lot of eyeballs will simply see my offer, and many people will simply join, and a lot of people won't do anything with it. But then out of those big, large numbers that come flooding in, I will get a bunch of people who will connect with me, and I'll be able to help them to get started. That's simply how I do it. That's just my way. I'm not saying it's the right way or the wrong way. I'm just saying it's my way. Some people, on the other hand, will be in your inbox, and which is a good way. This is brilliant. I'm not going to judge that. I think it's fantastic, and sometimes I think I should do more of that. But some people will be in your inbox. They go from one person to the next, and they follow up with you and they work with you. It's a different sort of way. It's a good way. So basically, guys, what I'm saying is, I could work my business or my strategy. So I'm only working with a handful of people, say 10 people at the very most. All right, 5 to 10 people that I'm really focused on and working with, and we have regular Zoom calls and stuff like that. That can also help you to build up a large business. So you're not looking to target hundreds or thousands of people. You're not looking to get your link out or get thousands of eyeballs onto your page. You're just going around for a handful of key people. That's all you need to do, and newbies can do this. But my advice is, when people say to you, don't mention the company name, it's no wonder why sometimes, like down the road, so and so, you sent your link out to so and so explaining about a business, but you didn't explain, what the company is. You wanted to keep that curiosity, so you didn't mention the company name. Then it's no wonder why, when they probably replied to you, oh, well, okay, I'll check it out at some point. Great, thanks. And then you follow up with them. Did you check it out? Oh, yeah, I'll get onto it, whatever. And then, 1 or 2 weeks later, or even a month later, that same person actually joins someone else. Of course, you're upset, but because you didn't actually make it clear to them what it was you're involved in, or what opportunity that you're involved in, there's no wonder why they were completely oblivious to what businesses you were in or what company you're involved in. People, I look at people's timeline, they don't mention what businesses they're involved in. Nobody has any idea what businesses you're doing or whatever. And, you've probably done this because your sponsor or your leader has told you not to do that because, you don't want people to go and shop around for another sponsor. But guys, my advice is get out there, brand yourself. That's exactly what companies do. What is the point of advertisements on the television? Is not because they want to get you to suddenly take action and pick up the phone call and call that company and buy a product. No. The point is that they're getting their name out there, they're getting the brand out there. The next time you come across an opportunity where you're in a position where you're ready to buy or take action with that product, you think, boom, yeah, I know exactly the company I'm going to go with. Or, in this case, we're working with people on the internet and we're looking for business opportunities. And when somebody, talks about a certain company that's actually a great opportunity, and you suddenly think, oh, I know exactly who's involved in that business. I'm going to stay loyal to them. Now, I know in the real world, you don't get a lot of people who necessarily care about too much about loyalty and stuff like that. I get that. But actually, I found, most people are in fact loyal. They will be loyal. If you've been very helpful, if you've been very supportive and guiding people, and you've made it very clear what opportunities you're involved in, you've made it very clear about your pitch, how you're ready to help them, how you're ready to get them started, and you've made it very clear what companies you're involved in, I'm pretty sure that they're going to remember that, all right? And they're going to come to you because you are very, very helpful. Now, I do see cases, because I'm admin of various groups in companies that I'm involved in, such as the Minerva Group. Okay, I am an admin of that group, and I see so many cases where people join there, and I say, you really need to get in touch with your sponsor because it's their responsibility to brief you on the opportunity. And most of the time, I get answers back saying, well, I don't know who my sponsor is, or they're never online, or is there any way that I can change my sponsor because they never give me any help and support? Yeah, so there's no wonder why the average person is not going to join the average person, because they're not giving any help or value or support. So, if you're prepared to up your game, be helpful and supportive, then you're going to be able to sponsor people. It's as simple as that. All right. And I think if you are the kind of person who simply just pitches people, sends your link out there, and expects people to jump on that link, or at least you think that those people will have a responsibility to stay loyal to you down the road, then no, I disagree. They do not have a responsibility to stay with you down the road, because all you're doing is just simply pitch. All you're doing is simply dropping your link into people's inboxes. And if people do that, I personally, there's no way I'm going to be joining that person down the road, even if I knew that they were actually involved in that same company, and then down the road I decide to join that company, because I've had many cases where people suddenly get to me and they say, oh, that's not fair. I dropped my link in your inbox several weeks ago. Why didn't you join under me? What changed your mind? What made you change your mind? This kind of thing. So, actually, to be fair, there have been cases where people had, in fact, dropped their links into my inbox. We did perhaps have a conversation. It turns out that person was actually blocked. I didn't realize it. It was very surprising, because I don't even remember having a conversation with a certain person. But because I realized that person was actually blocked, it was obvious that they were being very, very persistent, and they were selling and pitching or whatever. So it doesn't surprise me why I didn't join that company, because they obviously made all the mistakes on how to be have good people skills, how to market. There's a difference between marketing and selling. I hate sellers. Okay, I will not work with people who just sell. But I appreciate people who are marketers, because I'm a marketer, and that's a skill that I've learned. But guys, you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to have a lot of skill. You just have to be a nice person who can simply smile. And if you can't show your smile, you'll be able to let people know that you are smiling simply by the actions that you take. And those actions include simple things like, just simply being helpful. Do you need any help? I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you. Is there anything you need? How are you getting on? This kind of thing. But don't be so pushy, or don't be so, respect people's time. Don't be always in their inbox. Give them some space, and just be generally a guy. Be a person of value. Offer them some good marketing systems. Give them some advice about how to generate leads. Give them some motivation on how to, how you've been able to do this. Because if you've sponsored one person in this industry, if you've sponsored just one person, you now have the advice to give on to your member and teach them how to get one person, because it's always just one person at a time. So anyway, I hope this video was useful. I'm really just trying to say that, guys, just get out there, brand yourself. Don't be shy about telling what company you're involved in, what opportunity you're involved in. Let people know that this is the company I'm representing. This is the company I've aligned myself with. Don't be shy to get out on social media. When people end up joining someone else, so what? But it's probably because you didn't get yourself out there enough, or you you didn't make it clear enough what businesses you're trying to recommend to them. All right, and even if you think you sent them the link, or you think you sent them, or you already sent them information, they probably didn't look at it in detail. That's typical, because people are very busy. They're distracted by so many opportunities, and if they didn't look at your offer, and perhaps your offer didn't even have the whole lot of information on there, because sometimes, if you're networking, guys, I generally don't send out a capture page. Okay, a capture page is where you have a simple little, headline, maybe a sub headline, and a simple, a form. Put your name here, put your email here, and that's it. All right. If you just send out that kind of link to people who you're trying to network with, and you're trying to, have a conversation with, there's no wonder why people are not necessarily going to understand what it is you've pitched them on. All right, and then weeks later, or a month later, they end up joining that program under someone else, and you're, effing and being thinking, why the hell did they join that person? I already sent you my link. No, you didn't. You sent them to a capture page that didn't tell them anything. All right, so they don't have any responsibility to have to join you. All right, you don't have that authority to think that you've locked someone in. All right, they don't have any promise with you. All right, so my advice is, when you're networking with people on Facebook or Messenger, when you're having a conversation, you have actually bypassed the need for a capture page. You need to send them more information. Send them a video. Send them directly to a video or something. Send them directly to a landing page so they can get that information all on one page at one fell swoop. That's why I never ever really send a capture page in Messenger. When someone is asking for information and we're already connected, all right, for example, if I've made a post on Facebook and I've given out some curiosity, people want some information, I won't send them a capture page. I will bypass that, because they're already a lead. All right, I'm already connected to them. They've already asked for information. That's the point of a capture page, is where they're sort of, as in a sense, they're asking for information. We've bypassed the need for a capture page. You need to send them directly to a landing page or something with more information, so they can see what you're involved in quickly. Because people won't spend much time checking out what you're doing if they haven't really communicated with you that much. So, at the end of the day, what we're trying to lead on to is the fact that down the road they're gonna check out a business, and if you've already sent them the information about that business, they need to remember that. And if you've only sent them a small amount of information, or you haven't been so clear about what that business is, they're not going to remember it anyway. All right, so you've lost them. At the end of the day, they're leads, and they're not only on your leads list, they're not only connected to you. On Facebook, there are people who have mutual friends, they're connected to a lot of people, and you have absolutely no idea what conversations they're having privately in other people's inboxes about the same program. You don't know necessarily if you're the first person that sent that information. You don't know that. Okay, and you don't know that if you are the one who actually sent me that information in the first place. Maybe I had a conversation with someone else before we spoke. But even so, guys, nobody really has the right to assume that you have that control over people, that authority, that promise. You've never made. There's no promise involved. Okay, I don't owe anyone anything in this industry. I choose who I join with because of the amount of value I can feel, or I can the warm connection I've made with that person, the opportunity that we've been able to have, where we've been able to connect and relate to each other. Because there are some people I just don't like. There's some people I just cannot get on with. It's as simple as that. Don't take it personally, but it's the way everyone is. It's not just me and you. It's not just you and them, or this person and that person. Everybody has certain people that they communicate with and make it easier. All right. So this is not. This video is not specifically to any individual. Specifically, I'm just talking about the industry in general, and I know that this happens a lot. So, guys, also a word of warning to people. When you join people, make sure that they're going to be there to help you, because I get people coming into our groups and they've already joined and locked in a position under someone, but they end up never hearing from them. They never ever get any guidance. But unfortunately, the unfortunate fact of the matter is, and it is just the way it is, when you get into that company and you already have a sponsor, I'm sorry, but nobody's really going to have time to help you, because if they don't have a vested interest in guiding and supporting you, you can't expect it. Now, you might be able to get in touch with a company that you're working with and say that I'm really not getting any help and support from my direct sponsor. Is there any chance I can move to someone else? All right, and then they might give you some advice and say, what you need to get in touch with your current sponsor and say, I want to get in. I want either you help me, or I'm going to arrange for someone, to be transferred onto someone else, because I really want to get going in this company, and you have a responsibility to help me, or whatever. But also, guys, it works both ways. You need to be ready. If they've sent you videos and guidance, that's fine. That's a part of the help. All right. So sometimes, you need to be ready to jump on a webinar. You need to be ready to jump in and watch videos, because often there is a fast start guide in most companies. There is a webinar that you need to watch, or it's a recorded webinar, or you need to get into a Facebook group and start, doing your own due diligence. So there's a certain amount where you need to get on by yourself and digest the information. And if you've been given that information, then those are the steps you need to take. Just respect that. Also respect that your sponsor, they may not be helping you so much because you're very, very persistent. And if that's the case, just get up to speed with the fast start guides, the videos, the webinars, and everything. Then if you've got specific questions, ask them, for sure. However, sometimes you've got to understand, even your sponsor has a day job and a life, and they got family and stuff, so they're also quite busy. So respect that as well. Anyway, hope this video was useful. I felt it was important because I do see a lot going on, and I get blamed sometimes when I join new companies that they thought that I should be under them or whatever, because apparently they sent me the information I often don't remember or whatever. But guys, at the end of the day, you've got to up your game. If you're in business, whether you're a newbie, I don't care if you're a newbie, you've got to up your game. Because if you're going to start up a restaurant on the high street, if you're going to start up a shop, nobody cares. They don't care, how much experience you have. They're going to move to the person who's going to be simply there to help them. And any newbie can actually be helpful. All right. Any newbie can put a smile on your face and just simply say, I'm here to help. All right. And if you don't know the answers as a sponsor, if you don't know the answers, you need to get up to speed. that, you know, what that means is you need to get into those groups, you need to get onto those webinars. Okay, guys, I also understand that you have multiple streams of income and you're busy and focused on different businesses, but narrow things down and focus what's important so you can really help your team in the different businesses. It's your responsibility. And if you feel you're too busy, don't take on any more businesses. All right, only get involved with what you can handle so you can be sure to help your team in those different businesses. All right, don't expect your sponsor to do all the work. Don't expect the company to do all the work. Don't expect the people in the group, the admins in the group, to do all the work. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this video was useful. Give me a like, comment down below, anything you like. Ask questions, ask away, and check out some of the other videos that I'm uploading here on YouTube. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye for now.